I just had an idea, and I'm trying to figure out how to put it into words. I can't ask this question. How is it possible that synthetic a priori judgments can even happen? And what that question is really getting at is, how is it possible that I can predict that when I pick something up and I lift it up and I let go of it, that it will fall? And then it actually does. It seems really simple. Well, it's because there's gravity. No, the point of the question is, why is there this mathematical or logical arithmetic, algebraic, geometrical structure to reality in the first place? And where did that come from? Why is it, for example, that things can be measured? And why is it that the measurement, when I make that, it also predicts things that physically happen in the world? How is that possible, that there's this connection between calculations and actual physical phenomena? Unless the physical world is a projection of those mathematical laws. There's got to be some kind of a relation between those two. Otherwise, it's not coincidence that people, not just me obviously, but it's not a coincidence that people can use math in order to predict things, or tell time, or how many hours is it going to be until tomorrow? We know what that is because there's a mathematical structure to reality. And there's something to that, something about the synthesis between geometry and logic and algebra, all mixing together into some core proto-logic or something like that. I've been trying, there's this idea, this feeling, it's an intuitive feeling of things snapping together or falling in place, and I don't know what to call that. It's like proto-logic, it's intuition. And intuition is the finite grasp of the infinite. The best way to teach like an AI to be creative is not to give it a whole bunch of examples of creativity, but to give it access to randomness. Because randomness is the totality of all possibilities. That's what makes something random, is that it has an equal chance for every possibility, and every possibility is represented in it. There's not any impossibilities in it. It's all the possibilities that could exist equally represented. So, what makes everything real and integrated and logical seems to be this intuition, this finite grasp of the infinite. And it's not the case that everything that I think is wrong, it's that it's incomplete. There's an infinitude more than just whatever it is that I say. There's always an infinite amount more that was left unsaid, but is still there. And so there's a limit to everything that's finite because it's finite. And the thing that makes it finite is that limit. And those limits make totalities. Those totalities then have implications. For example, if I say the word everything, then what must be beyond that is nothing. And that's an implication, but it's just as, you can visualize this geometrically by putting everything into a cube or a box or a sphere or a globe or whatever shape you want, and you picture that that's the totality, and then what's outside of that is nothing. There is nothing outside of it. And so then it gives you this really weird free scale where it's like, well, how big is the shape? Well, it's however zoomed in you want to be, because there's no reference beyond that. So it's so weird. It's like once you understand that type of thinking, it just opens everything up. There's there's something. It's got to be integrated. It's got to be. Oh, I remember. Every logical implication can be translated into a geometric implication, necessity. So, if everything that existed was represented in a sphere, then nothing would be the infinite space beyond that. And so that's geometric as well as logical. It's I can't quite get at it. It's something to deal with totalities where there can't be anything else beyond a certain limit. And once you have that limit, once you have that definitional limit, everything that's within that limit is X, and everything that is outside of that limit is not X. And so then you have this binary implication where it's like if it is X, it must be within the limits of the function. If it's not X, it must be beyond the limits of the function or definition. And that's the only way that it could ever be. Knowing that, if I know what that limit is, then I automatically know what's in and out of it based on the limit. I know both, the in and out. And I know that if anything is X, it must be in it. If anything is not X, it must be beyond it. So there's this I don't know what to call it, this structure to everything.